I'm here to discuss LeGarrette Blount. I made a decision on September 4th in consultation with my athletic director, President's University, and Larry Scott. And I'll reiterate again, that was my decision and my decision only, to suspend LeGarrette Blount for the season. I made it as harsh a penalty as I could so that he understood the ramifications of what was ahead of him. I did not make it an indefinite suspension at that time because I didn't want him coming to me every day and saying, when can I come back? At that time, though, I don't live in a vacuum. And I said on that day that there's not a manual for what went on. And I didn't make this decision by myself, so I reached out to a lot of people. People on this campus, my athletic director, our president, a lot of people gave me a lot of good counsel on this. I also reached out beyond this campus to people like Dr. Harry Edwards and Tony Dungy specifically to find out what's the best plan I should put in place for this young man. At that time, and that was September 4th, we started an open dialogue, myself and LeGarrette, about what he needs to do to change things around. At that time, I never gave him any indication that I was ever going to bring him back, because I didn't feel at that time that was necessary. He needed to prove to me that he wanted to change, and he wanted to make this situation right. On September 15th, Dr. Harry Edwards came up here, he spoke with our team, and he spent a lot of time with LeGarrette as an individual, and I wanted to get his take on what he felt about LG as a person. Because I see LG every day, and I know how I feel. And I can be tainted, because I do see him every day, and I do love LeGarrette. But I also know that the decisions have to be made in the best interest of himself and this football program. I also spent a lot of time myself with Dr. Harry Edwards. I've talked about this being a teachable moment. Not just a teachable moment for LeGarrette, it's a teachable moment for everybody on this football team, and specifically for me. I'll be the first one to tell you, I do not have all the answers, man. But if I don't have the answers, I'll go to people that can help me with them. And I really want to right now thank Dr. Edwards and Tony Dungy for their time, because they didn't have to help me, but they wanted to. And I really truly appreciate both of those men and what they've done to help LeGarrette in this situation. After Dr. Edwards left, we started to put a plan in place for LeGarrette. That plan was finalized last Friday on September 25th. He signed a piece of paper in my office, I signed the same thing. We made an agreement. And that agreement basically is that there are some academic and behavioral ladders that he has to climb for him to ever gain an opportunity to play football again. I am not reinstating LeGarrette Blount right now. Make sure everybody understands that. What we put in place is a plan that he will have the opportunity, and that date won't be at least until the Stanford game, that he could come back and play at this school. And the ladders in the plan that's in place is going to be kind of difficult. And now again, LeGarrette will fall under a microscope because everything he does will be judged. But as LeGarrette knows, and I know, this thing's entirely up to him. As we move forward, and reason that this was released this way, this is the first week of school. There's a lot of things that dealt with academic ladders that he has to climb. It really didn't mean anything until school started here at Oregon. So, I also wanted the opportunity to tell our team. And I didn't meet with our team because of the way everybody runs off the field and gets to class and all those other things till last night. And my players first and foremost. And the only decision I wrestled with is when do I announce it. So if anybody has any questions,